Hello YouTube and welcome to Turmoil in the Toybox. I'm your host Aaron Hauser, and today we'll be reviewing some of NECA's classic Predator figures. And these are from a couple different lines. There's the classic looking Predator, standard design. There is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Gort Predator with the mask that never made it into the film. There is the Elder Predator from Predator 2. And then one of my more recent purchases is the City Hunter from Predator 2. So let's start out with the Elder Predator here. This is by far one of the best Predator figures NECA has ever released. If not for the design and the look of the figure, simply for articulation and accessories. This thing is so fucking cool. The detail on it is phenomenal. The paint job, flawless. The accessories, it comes with the backpack with the plasma caster attached to it. Comes on a very small ball joint there that flexes in and out. Fairly fragile, just a word of warning there. Also comes with the awesome sword. Comes with a little handgun pistol, which he ends up giving to Danny Glover in the end of the film as a reward. He has a really cool array of decorative stuff on his belt here. Spinal column from something, a skull. This cool little, looks like a squirrel skull necklace. I'm not really sure why predators really love squirrel skulls that much. Oh, hey, here's some more. The always awesome extendable blades. But just the detail on this one is phenomenal. The look on the face, he's got kind of the rings on his mandible there. As far as articulation goes, he has articulation in the ankles that flexes in and out. Flexing at the knees that also rotates. Rotation at the upper hip there. And then I think he rotates in and out on this figure at the hips here, like it pivots. But this one's very tight since I haven't bothered rotating a whole lot of the joints, just because some of the joints on this do tend to feel a bit fragile. Like if you twisted them too hard or torqued it too much, it would snap. So, if you're putting this up for display or if you're keeping it in the package, you shouldn't really have to worry about it. And if you keep it in kind of that stance and you're not really, trying to mess with the knee joints or the elbow joints, you shouldn't have to worry about it as much. As far as articulation up top, I think he does, yeah, he pivots at the waist. Like I said, this one's pretty tight. He's got articulation at the wrists, at the elbows. His shoulders flex in and out. He also rotates at the elbows, which is nice. The dreads on this one are very cool. He's got kind of different little things in his dreads for this one. But yeah, overall, very, very cool figure. Definitely one of the coolest that NECA's done with some of these newer series. So, that is the Elder Predator. Here we have the Classic Predator, which was also released unmasked with sort of a roaring look on it. And then there was another one that was unmasked with the mandibles closed that was released for a Toys R Us 2-pack that also came with the Xenomorph from the first Alien film. I still would like to get that package. I think it looks like a cool set. It comes with a lot of accessories, but this figure is actually very cool. Fairly cheap. You can get this one, as well as the Elder Predator, for about $20 each through Amazon.com. Same articulation on this one. Shoulders flex in and out, elbows, wrists. Does come with an alternate hand, I think, for this one, to make it look more like that. But the detailing is very cool, and I love the classic mast look. Always very nice. The like I said with the other one, the backpack does come off. Let me see if I can show it to you right here. He's got this sort of clip right there, and if you look, it's got sort of a divot, so that what you do is you clip it in the bottom, and then there's a notch up on his shoulder, and yeah, there. You got it, kind of gotta force it in with some finesse, but sits on his shoulder fairly well. One thing that I do love about these Predators across the board is the balance. Since the joints aren't so wobbly on these as they were with the AVP-R line, they stand up really good for display, really well, and they just look phenomenal. So, give you kind of a look here. It comes with some little ornamentation stuff, skulls, the bone necklace that he has. But yeah, it's a very, very cool piece, and this one's definitely worth checking out as well. Here is one of my personal favorites that I just recently got. This is the San Diego Comic-Con Gort Predator. This was apparently the mask version that they had designed for the film, but they chose to go with the more streamlined look that we now have as the classic Predator. Comes with a very, very cool accessory, which is the bloody skull and spine trophy, which I love that. They came with the skull and spine in another Toys R Us 2-pack that came out recently, but I love the bloodied look on this one. It looks very neat. The sculpt on it's very, very cool. It's sort of a thick, flexible spine. I think it's fairly bendable, but you know, I wouldn't go just like bending it in half or anything. Same articulation as with the others. The mask is fucking beautiful. I love the look on this one. Kind of wish they would have used this one for the original film, but you know, I'm at least glad that NECA released this one. They also released the Gort Predator just within the last year as an 18-inch, or excuse me, I think it's about 19 inches actually. But it's a very, very cool figure. This one goes as well for about $20 to $25 through Amazon.com, but definitely worth getting. This is by far one of my favorites of these four that I'm reviewing today. So, and last up, this is one of the newer releases from NECA. This is the City Hunter. And NECA went through and kind of overhauled the entire articulation, like the sculpt of these Predators. If you notice, side by side, this Predator is actually taller than this line. These three have the same body sculpt. This one has the new standard Predator sculpt that I think they'll be using from now on, which is fine by me. This is very, very cool. I honestly prefer, believe it or not, this older line, but the improvements that they made on articulation for this one are really, really well done. So, as far as articulation in the shoulders, flexes in and out, he's kind of got rubbery portions for the armor. This arm does not seem to want to flex in and out, so I'm not going to fuck with it too much. But that was one of my main problems here, was it just felt like some of these joints are just way too tight, and then some of them are just way too loose. Comes with a couple different accessories. He comes with, let me see if I can actually just bend this down. Waiting for it to snap on camera, which would be my luck. Has the blades on the gauntlet, which extend. his gauntlets got kind of more of that square look from the film, which is neat. His satchel, not a purse, comes with the awesome blade, the disc blade that he has in the second film. This actually does fit in on his belt there. You kind of have to press it in though to get it to stay. It does have a tendency to pop out at random. So now here's where things kind of start getting changed up a little. Give you a really awkward look here. This one actually has rotating ball joints that just go across sort of a bridge portion here for the waist. Now, the hips can actually rotate slightly, but they can rotate out, up, down. The knees are actually double jointed, which I thought was a very cool addition. And the way they kind of covered that up nicely with the... oh, there goes the blade. Covered that up with the knee pad was very cool. But it looks really good on that. The ankles here are kind of loose, as is the flexing on the hips. So he does have a tendency to do the splits, but if you get him kind of standing up straight like this, or if you put him on a stand, he doesn't really have a whole lot of issue with just falling over. So also has a rubber butt. Thought that was kind of random, but yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. This is one of the coolest features on these figures, these new Predator 2 figures, is the setup for the plasma caster. I fucking love this. It's on this sort of track. Just like in the film, it can rotate and then come up like this. Just like in the movie. And I thought that was really, really cool on NECA's part to do that instead of just having it kind of sit there like it normally does with some of the other Predator figures. But yeah, it just slides on down. It's loose enough that you can get it up there and have it sit in place without it falling down. But it's also tight enough that when you have to move it down on the track, it's not going to just flail all over the place, which is nice. But give you kind of a closer look here of the skull. The dreads are a lot more loose on this one, I noticed. They're a lot more flexible kind of feeling. The only real problem, other than kind of some of the loose joints on here that I had with this, was the paint for the City Hunter is a lot brighter than in the film. In the film, he's a lot darker looking, and he's got more of a, I don't know, almost like a snake-like sort of color to him. But, you know, for what it is, this is still a lot better from what I've seen than the McFarlane movie Maniacs Predator 2 City Hunter. But I just wish they kind of would have darkened the paint. I've seen a lot of people customize their Predators to get the paint scheme to match the film version a lot better. So if you are, you know, good with painting, I'm sure there's many people out there that could show you how to do it a little bit better and kind of do some touch-ups here and there on it. But yeah, overall, these are some really cool figures. I still need to get the boar and the, I want to say it was the shaman predators that were released along with the City Hunter version. But I ended up getting the City Hunter one by himself first, just because that was always my favorite of these series. So, but yeah, that about wraps it up for these guys. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. And check out some of my other reviews. Thanks for watching.